a bit more serious. The last thing, the second issue, or is it the third issue? Gangs. We must not allow the resurgence of any form of a gang in whatever name to operate in Kiambu County and Central Region. It's important for us to deal with it as early as possible. There is no excuse ya kusema oh ni wanasiasa ni politicians who are bringing this. That's not our excuse. Sisi tunaendea mwenye amechoma police station, we go for that one. Mwenye amechoma SEC office, we go for that one. We charge them for terrorism. You know, we are not doing these things so that it benefits us. And, to preserve the state is an extremely important exercise that we must involve ourselves in doing so. Mwenye alichoma Kikuyu police station, saa hizi county commissioner anauliza hapa ati mnichengee ofisi. Mtafutie pesa ya kujenga ofisi. Why should we be looking for public resources to build an office when we had built an office? Hii tabia imetoka hapa Kiambu. Hii Dagoretti police station yenye imechomwa. Hii hapo mpaka the neighborhood wanachoma mpaka bunduki. Hiyo mabunduki hii tabia ilitoka wapi? And suddenly Kiambu becomes a place of that kind of violence. Don't take anything for granted. Let us take every situation very seriously. Bure, let me tell you, when I was in the university, when Kibaki came to office, and then Murongaru, and then Nani came to this ministry, and then Michuki came to this ministry. And saizo gangs ilikuwa imejaa dunia. Watu walikuwa, they were living in fear. Si chief mnajua hiyo? Me, I am not born and brought up here, but at least nyinyi mko na hiyo experience. Mungetaka Kiambu hii ikue kama siku hiyo before Michuki? No, I want to hear. Do you want Kiambu to be like before Michuki? So, they say usipozipa ufa, utajenga nini? Unajua kuna mchezo tunaweza kuwa tunacheza hapa, ati tufurahishe wanasiasa. Ati it's our community. Ni vijana yetu. You think it's a game to fight up someone else from somewhere else. Eventually, watu kulala kwa manyumba becomes a problem. Me, I come from a place where banditry is a big issue. Yeah? If I don't do what Michuki did in Kerio Valley huko, will I retire to a place yenye watu wako? Nikikuwa hivi ati tupendane na wakora na nini. So you guys, you must be ruthless kwa gangs so that it cannot terrorize the people of Kiambu and East Central Region. And I really beg you, if you play around with these politics that in vijana yetu, I see some people coming to have justification. There is no justification for having a parallel system of government where people are collecting taxes, where people are not sleeping in the house, where people are being intimidated, where somebody who has not worked on anything is taking revenue from somebody who has done his job. We have to be ruthless and we have to be serious in dealing with these gangs. Tumeelewana? Hatujaelewana. Even the way you are responding, hatujaelewana. Tumeelewana? Bado. Tumeelewana? Yes, sir. If we don't deal with this issue decisively, we will be blamed. You and me will be blamed for holding public office at a time when we allowed criminals to run amok in our country. So we must be serious. We can play about other things. Michezo ya mambo ingine tutafanya hiyo karata ya siasa ya nini. It doesn't matter. You know, this country is very interesting. You know? Usiweke siasa sana kwa hii maneno. So uliona jana mwenye alikuwa hapa ameingia pale, mwenye alikuwa pale analia huko, mwenye alikuwa yu. Lakini tukiwacha nchi, country, there is only one country called Kenya. And when it burns down, we will be running, all of us. It doesn't matter who was the president and who was a sweeper. We will all be running around as a country. And it starts small. Tutakuwa kama Haiti and other countries if we don't deal with this issue of gangs. So gangs, because Kiambu we have a problem, Nairobi we have a problem, Nakuru we have a problem, Kakamega we have a problem, we have dismantled Kakamega, Zimbaya, Kisumu we have a problem. We must not allow this. Nimewacha message kwa Nakuru and I'm waiting for the results. We cannot allow, and I am going to be waiting for the results from here. County commander and your team, we must dismantle everything. Where is the county commander? He was somewhere. We must be able to deal. Yes, madam. County commander and regional commander, you must do your job to sort out this issue of gangs, and let us be ruthless. And let's go for the individuals that are helping perpetuate this, especially extortion. Mtu anajifanya ni kamangira, lakini amejificha hapo, is collecting money from people's businesses, matatus and so forth. Let us be serious people. Let's protect our country. The last issue is gender-based violence. We have a problem in the country, a creeping problem of gender-based violence. Watu wanapiga bibi zao. Alafu we want to normalize it that alikuwa na discipline bibi yake. Any form of an adult above 18 beating another adult, that is violence. Hakuna kitu. Hata siku hizi, even if you beat a child, it's also violence. We must face the problem of gender-based violence head on. But also kuna wanaume wanachapwa kwanza hapa. And especially women take advantage of their spouses kwa sababu wamepotelea pombe. Wakishalewa, pengine bwana zamani alikuwa anapika bibi. Sasa ameanza kuingia pombe, bibi amepata nafasi, ananyorosha bwana yake. Wazee kwa sehemu hizi wanalala chini ya kitanda. We must be able to deal with this issue. That is violence. It doesn't matter whether it was the husband or it was the wife. That is violence. Na mimi naomba nyinyi chiefs na OCS. OCS. Kuna OCSs, mzee akikuja kuripoti kwamba bibi yake amempiga, anamwambia rudia tena, ati umepigwa na nani? Wewe ni mwanaume aina gani? That is why we have gender desk. Gender desk is not for women alone. It's to serve both women and men. And we must be conscious of this fact. I was in Bombay the other day. It's a big problem there. Gender-based violence. We must not allow gender-based violence. That's why watu wanawawa. This is also a problem we face with our police officers. OCSs. Early warning. Ukiona officer mwenye ako na mental health challenges and is really complaining about 1, 2, 3, instead of waiting for him to use his gun to kill somebody else, let us resolve this problem early. Number, on the same issue, hakuna alternative dispute resolution for violence. Violence ikifanyika, OCS, kotini. Usiseme wacha tu wamesikizana. That's why we need continuous training of our OCSs. Ndio mtu asikuja kusema mkubwa, hao watu walikuwa wamepigana kweli lakini wamesikizana, wamesameana, tukawaachilia hawa. That is a crime against the state. And that applies the same to sexual violence. Defilement, yenye imezidi, yenye especially from kuna pedophiles. Especially family members, parents, fathers preying on their own children. That is an issue we must deal with. Tusiweke chini ya meza. Including using children. You know, because it's an urban area, using children for prostitution purposes. That is something we must be ruthless about. That's why ulisikia juzi niliposikia hii story yenye ilikuwa Mai, we took it very seriously. Because that problem exists. It exists in many, especially urban areas and along the busy northern corridor. Kwa bahati mbaya too, in the same documentary, some characters lied to the people who are doing the news kwamba they were underage and they were overage. But it doesn't extinguish the fact that we are struggling with issues about sexual offenses, including defilement and also trafficking in women for purpose of sexual purposes. We must be able to deal with that issue and confront face to face. There is no kind of crime that we are going to condone. Tumeelewana ndugu zangu? Now, let me respond to a few issues that you have raised. Ya kwanza, and most of these things have been written. The rapporteurs are there. It will be contained in the report of, for all of it. We are finishing this process before the end of next month. And the whole report, as I told you, many policies have been changed already, courtesy of these meetings. And as we progress, we are farming it up. We get few more ideas, but the report will capture the key issues of every county. Then we'll see how these issues are going to be addressed. I agree on terms of your welfare. You know that when we came in, the chiefs had stayed. I was shocked when we were in APTC Juzi. Yani the chiefs who have worked for 20 years, they've never been trained by anybody. You know? Wabi chief hapa mwenye hajawahi trainiwa for 15 years. Akisaf. Maybe Kiambu is better. Kuna mtu hajawahi kwenda this training yenye tunaenda sasa. Where this? Yes. You see 50, you've done more than 15. How many? 12 years. Nani amefanya 15? 10 before training. Kiambu mkumbe mko sawa. Some places people have gone, even when we were in APTC, there were people who are 20 years, 15 years, 17 years. At least you are doing better. How many people who have stayed 8 years hawajakuwa trained? It is not a punishment. It was not your mistake. You are not, I've seen 8, 7 years, 7, 6, 5. So nyinyi wote, how many people have never been trained? Here, simama tu, simameni, just stand. People who are yet to go to Embakasi. It's not bad. It's not too bad. Some counties are worse. Please be seated. So when we came in, we realized we have 8,000 chiefs who have never been trained. And as I told you, you will finish this by December. So, and as soon as we finish the training, it will be followed by the necessary promotions that have been delayed. So ule chief alisema kwa hapa tupewe waiver, there is no need for waiver. Because now we have fast-tracked the training itself. For ACCs, wale ambao tuliwa train, wamebaki 300. We are going to finish. Munajua tukiwa graduation, His Excellency the President gave us the resources to complete the 300 of you to be trained and then be promoted. Mambo ya stagnation generally across the board. Nimewambia mambo ya police officers, what we have changed already, and I already explained to you earlier. We have a problem here, offices generally across the board. I appreciate we have one member of parliament here to represent the others. And one of the things that we need to work with, and I am supporter of NGCDF myself. Yeah, I've seen what it has done in education sector. And I think we are going to work together with members of parliament. And I told them, Juicy, when I was in parliament, that we restructure it so that we build our offices for chiefs, ACCs, na mambo ya police stations. We have some of the worst police stations in the country. We have many terrible police stations. Nana akona police station in 1930s. Hapa. 30s. Ilijengwa 30s, 40s. 1950s. You're in 1930s, 40s, 50s, 60, 60 something. You can see, I've seen 70 something. Police station are 70 something, 80 something, 90 something. Then if you are beyond 90, you have a very good police station. So we have no problem here, police station in Kiambu. And we appreciate. Okay, the ones who don't have any police station in the first place. Yeah? You have a station of which years? Yeah, you see? Wakati nilikuwa nasema 60s, 50s, 40s, where will go happy? They are before independence. And a number of them, that is a challenge. It's one of the most ignored places. It's just because leaders never find themselves there. Mainly enter to my next police station, my next ward. Hey, I was shocked. It has 2 rooms. One near chief, room ya chief, the other near OCS. Alafu kwa chief iko na mahali imewekwa kachuma. Mtu akiwa arrested anafungiwa hapo wakati chief anafanya kazi yake ameketi hapo chini. Yeah? Hata sitaki kusema ya huyu DIG Lagat niliona kwa social media. Hata IG wetu anaitwa nani? Kanja. Aliniambia usitangaze sana yake. Wacha angangane ajenge zishikwe. So in most of us we have ignored the police stations. It's important to build the right police stations so that we can be able to move forward. Mambo ya uniform, meskia, including the police officers, the planned new uniform is going to be rolled out before the end of this year. Mambo ya offices, ya chiefs, we are also working to make sure that housing, the president directed that 17,000 houses be built within the police stations under the housing project. And that is something we are going to follow up so that when we roll out, or a number of our police stations will have at least housing incorporated in it. Mambo ya licensing. Mheshimiwa Speaker. Deputy Governor, sorry. Madam Deputy Governor. How many members of County Assembly managed to come? Please. We have... oh, is that so? Mulikuja mkachelewa wapi? Ona mmejificha huko nyuma. We have a good number of leaders here. Thank you very much. We will be introduced later. The biggest problem we have at the moment is the license, Madam Deputy Speaker, Deputy Governor. We have a problem with the licensing. Na mmesikia watu wamesema. Yenyewe nimeambiwa hii shida they across the country, lakini Kiambu is gross. Yeah, it's worse in Kiambu here, and I'm sure it's worse when I go to Nairobi and also Muranga and these areas around Nairobi. You need to sit down as County Assembly na watu wenu with public participation. You agree, you know, these are your voters. You need to agree how many bars can be licensed in a particular area in a manner that is responsive to the needs of the people, so that you can even be able to follow up. Licensing has become a big problem. And we can work this together out. You know, we can work out together. Because we are doing the enforcement, you need to amplify the role of the DCC in the sub-county. So that I know they have a role now in the carrying out. But you see, the ultimate responsibility is for the county government. And this is an area that we have. If we have to help each other, we must. And it's coming out so many times across the place. Yeah. And then mambo ya protected affordable housing, national values, drugs, mambo ya mobility. We are doing the procurement. So by latest October or November there, tutapata magari, about 3,000. So what we'll do, we'll distribute it, ngao kidogo, police nyingi kidogo, prisons kidogo, like that, as we continue doing the procurement until we sort out this issue. And like someone has said here, let us have carpooling. For all these areas, we make sure that we do the what? The carpooling. And I like the statement made by the police officers that they work together. And I also agree with the ACCs. For the time being, if we can have at least one car in sub-county designated for the ACCs, then they can use it as we increase the fleet. You know, as we move to increase the fleet, we will put that into consideration. Mambo ya housing, nimesikia hiyo. Operationalization of the administrative units. Let me tell you where the challenge is. It's not difficult to do so. The problem is the budget. Do you know why nyinyi wote mnalia AIE? Because we increased the units without the budget increasing. And because of the pressure of recurrent expenditure within the national government, so unapata division yenye ilikuwa moja imegawiwa mara tatu. So ile AIE ilikuwa 50,000 ama 150,000 inarudi inakuja 50, inakuja 20, inakuja 15. Because the ultimate budget has not moved, yeah, commensurate to the number of the administrative units. So we are fighting for that. And you have to help us. We must all understand each other. As we roll out the administrative units, we roll out as we get the budget. And there are some that we are going to do this year based on the budget that we have just received. Very little amount of money, but we'll make sure that it is fairly distributed across the country based on the population and also the security challenges that is affecting every county. I agree on that, securing police stations. Mambo ya police officer with medical issues, I totally agree. And also, police officers being transferred closer to, as you, is it supposed to be the 5 years? Towards the end of your 5 years, unless you have a command responsibility, you are transferred closer to you, where you will retire. Ndio uanze kuzoana na watu wa kijiji yako. Si namna hiyo? So that has been going on, but we need to farm it up. But it's also true that kuna police officer hawataki kwenda huko. Unaona penye walikuwa wamekaa for 10 years, wamejenga kibanda hapo. So hataki kurudi penye nini, anataka kuretire hapo. So it is his own choice. Akisema awekwe karibu na Nairobi, it is his own choice. It's for us to support him, even though sometimes the family is complaining the other side kwamba atuoni huyo mtu, atuoni salary yake and so forth. But where he chooses is where the National Police Service is going to support. Also, police officer transfers. Tuliambiwa hiyo, unatransferiwa mahali, lakini wewe uko na watoto na wako shule, na unaambiwa songa haraka. I think a lot of care should be put in this kind of transfers, particularly female officers, so that you consider them, you take a reasonable time, especially tumeambiwa where their spouses, it is good to be within, a distance where they can be able to visit each other. Kuliko unachukua bibi yake anaenda Mandera, unachukua bwana yake aende Migingo. Inakuwa, all those distance. It's good to put a human face in terms of service. And the DIGs have heard you, and the IG and other team had heard from elsewhere. Recruitment is coming up anytime from now. It's just a matter of weeks. Then that will increase our strength in the areas you have been having issues. We are working also to procure some motorcycles for you chiefs so that it can help you. Nasikia ile ya zamani imeisha. Kuna chief alituambia huko Nandi yake inapiga kelele kuliko helicopter. So one day alikuwa ameenda enforce ati watu wa kupiga chang'aa wanajua tu. Wasiposikia hiyo sauti wanaendelea na kazi yao. Sio sauti ikisikika wanafunga milango wanaondoka, akifika kuna mtu anaenda kushika, kumbe ni pikipiki ndio imeleta shida. We were also told about the ACCs and mobility, kwamba kuna madam alisema ACCs wamepotelea katikati ya powerful chief and powerful sub county DCC, na ana gari, ana chochote, na anaishi nyuma ya bar and hotel kibanda mahali. So we are working on those issues to see if you can also be accommodated. But also on the times of mobility, we try our best to make sure that we sort. Unajua Dio wa zamani alikuwa na Land Rover. Sikia kuna Dio. Lakini kumbuka pia huyo Dio wa zamani alikuwa Dio ya entire constituency. Entire constituency was Dio's jurisdiction. So when it was also reduced, this pressure ya niliambiwa na madam mwingine juzi alipelekwa kienda baraza na mtu ya bodaboda kaenda alipoona tu baraza imeketi mzuri hivi, sijui mtu ya bodaboda was excited akamwangusha kwa matope. So at the whole place wanahurumia madam ACC. So na yeye ndio alikuwa anangojewa, mtu ya maana sana alikuwa anangojewa na hiyo mkutano yote akuje asuluhishe shida ilikuwa kijiji ya mashamba. So mama moja tu akaonea huruma akafungia leso, na mtu alisikia tu mtu kwa mbali akisema huyu ataweza kweli kazi ameangushwa na nini. So we have to keep your job in dignity. Ama kule Makwiny niliambiwa mwingine alienda na motorbike akaangushwa na mtu ya bodaboda, ati wananchi wakasema serikali imeanguka kwa sababu ya ile maana ienda. So we need to deal with mobility issues and so that these issues are dealt with. Mambo ya maintenance, enhancement of AIA, enhancing counseling services. We also want to make sure that counseling, they are already there. Watu wengi wamesema we need counselors in some county. Kuliko tukue tuna counselor moja kwa county attending to everybody. We will also put that into consideration in the next recruitment to make sure that we have enough counselors. Mental health continues to be a big challenge because of societal problems, and including pressure of economy and resources you have, and all other things that people go through. We need to make sure that counseling services are also put in place. Capacity building and training. We've realized also that I've talked about Ngao, but also for police officers. We have agreed with the National Police Service that they must have continuous training for the police officers. And I like the proposal that it must be done at the local level, so that people don't have to go to Gikanjo to learn certain things, except, of course, things that require shooting range or drills and so forth. But continuous training for the police officers, especially at management level from OCS kwenda juu, is extremely important, and we are going to start this financial year with the little resources that we have. And that should include financial literacy, capacity building, human rights, and so forth. Chief inspectors, all allowances, and then being transferred near home, Mesema ISO, separation of rank, more vehicles, NGCDF, infrastructure. Prisons also have the same problem, yeah, mobility and also building of infrastructure. And we can work with prisons. Hii ofisi yetu tukijenga, tutamwambia commissioner hapa aweke furniture. Alafu tunamlipa in a system that we can be agree, because also they produce the furniture. It will be very important for us to do so. Mambo ya IPOA. As I gave my directions on use of force, if you have used force to protect yourself or protect the life of another citizen, there is nothing to fear. Na nimeambia IG, he must provide legal services to all police officers that are being taken into a legal process for doing the right thing, either to protect themselves or protect their own lives or a life of another person. And in the normal course of duty, anything you do within the law, even if you have used force, but within the defining principle of the law, and I broke down all those, issues, we will always stand by you. But if you pick a gun now, pick a tum to risasi buri, buri. I don't want to use which case, because some cases are going on in court. But if you pick a gun and pick a innocent citizen, because they were in Mandamano, it's not a justification. Yeah, the fact that they were in Mandamano is not justification. You must be having a threat to your life or a life of another citizen, and that we will protect you. Or you are a police officer, watu wamekuja wanataka kuchukua bunduki kwa amari. You can't just sit there and watch. If that person gets that gun, how many people is he going to kill, with that gun? So you must protect life, but and these are not things that are new to you. You've been trained as police officers, and that nobody is going to have any problem with that. Mambo ya ICT equipment, we are working also with Konza Technopolis and the Ministry of ICT, with CS Kaboko and the team, to see how we are going to equip your offices. The equipment you have been given is now obsolete, and it was given more than 15 years ago. It's important that we replenish, and we are working on that, and pass. Beverly Nobora here is on top of that. Yeah, and then number of vehicles, more polytechnic, talent support. I want to say I agree with the youth who have said here that we need jukwaa la usalama for universities and colleges. We have a crisis there. And once I finish this county thing, I will come for you. I will come, we do it together, Nitaita baraza for colleges and universities. We have a very damning report from Nakada about the state of drug abuse within the universities, and these characters are targeting our colleges. There are things we have to work together. But also I've already directed that sub-county security team must co-opt dean of students of colleges and universities where they are, and the student leaders to attend the security meeting, so that they can work together to see how they secure our colleges and the universities. So as the student presidents here, if you are invited to sub-county security meeting, please attend, so that we can work together to secure our colleges and the universities. As a national policy also, we have agreed that where there are colleges and universities, we must provide police post or a police station, because that's a new population. For example, you build an institution like this, we have been told the students are 10,000. And some of them, especially the TTIs, they are new. At least this one was also there, you saw it growing. But in some places, you just go and establish new university. Then suddenly students are 10,000 or 20,000.